Your company's accounts receivable account monitors the amounts of goods and services sold to customers. When a transaction is posted to accounts receivable, Sage 50 first updates the associated journal and then posts the amounts to the general ledger. The first part of working with the company's accounts receivables was done when the customer defaults were created after the initial creation of the company file. Within the customer defaults, you set the standard customer terms, invoice aging, and more. After that is done, you can then turn to adding customers into your customer list. When you add new customer records, they have their default information set to match any settings specified within your customer defaults. You can change this information within the specific customer record as you are creating a new customer record if needed. After that, you will only need to enter the information that is unique to each customer. When you add new customers, you do so through the Maintain Customers and Prospects window. You can access this window by choosing Maintain and then Customers/Prospects from the menu bar. The top of the Maintain Customers and Prospects window has two text fields and two checkboxes. The first text field is the Customer ID. This is the code that you enter to uniquely identify your customers. There is also the name of the customer, and this is the name that you want to show on reports and invoices. The two checkboxes are Prospect and Inactive. Prospect is the checkbox that you check if the customer is a prospective customer. You might check this for a customer for whom you have created an estimate but have not performed any actual work or invoicing. You cannot invoice a prospect, so be aware of that if you use this feature. They become regular customers when you clear the check from the prospect checkbox. The inactive checkbox is the checkbox that you check to make a customer record inactive. The General tab contains basic customer billing and contact information. Here you can input the information for the bill to contact for the customer record. This includes address, phone, and other commonly used contact information. Note that this tab is also where you assign customers their tax codes by using the Sales Tax dropdown. You will need to assign one tax code for each ship-to address you enter. You can also type your own customer type into the text box of the same name. This value can later be used as a filter for reporting and finance charge purposes. You also enter contact information such as the phone number, email address, and fax number. If available, enter the customer's website address into the website box. Notice that once you have created a customer and have invoiced them for goods or services, you can view the current amount of their receivables balance shown within this tab. To see the list of invoices which make up the current balance, you can click the actual balance amount that is shown within this tab to display a listing of the invoices that constitute the receivable balance shown. In the Customizable Fields section at the bottom of this tab, you can see the custom fields that you have created for your customers within the Customer Defaults window. You can enter the specific values for this particular customer into those fields in this section on the General tab. If the customer has multiple contacts, then click the Contacts tab to record additional contact information for multiple contacts at a single company. To create a new contact, you can click the New Contact button on this tab. You can then enter the contact information into the fields shown. If you wish to enter a new address for the selected contact, you can click the Edit Addresses button to open the Contact Addresses window. Here you can enter the various addresses used by this company. When you're finished, simply click the OK button. You can then select an address for the current contact from the Addresses drop-down on the Contacts tab. When you have finished editing the contact's information, just click the Save Contact button to save the contact's information. Also, you can select a contact from the Select a Contact drop-down, and then click the Delete Contact button to delete a contact that you no longer need. Note that some contacts are needed by Sage 50 and cannot be deleted, such as the primary billing contact. If you need to enter outstanding invoices and amounts that the customer owes to the company as of the company file start date, you can perform this task by clicking the History tab and then clicking the Customer Beginning Balances button. You can then enter any invoices that need to be received as of the start date of the company file into the separate window that appears. You can then save and close this window when you're finished. On the Sales Info tab, you can enter sales information for the customer record. This tab shows sales reps, shipping methods, pricing levels, and the general ledger sales account used by the customer. The sales rep field is the sales representative for that customer. The GL sales account is the default general ledger income account to which most transactions for this customer will be posted. This, of course, can also be set on a per transaction level if needed. The Open PO number field is used for customers that have an open purchase order with your company. The Ship Via field is used to select the default shipping service used to send merchandise to this customer. This is a field that you can always change at the time of sale as well. The Resale number field is used to record the tax ID number of customers that purchase items from you for resale. The Pricing level field is used to indicate the pricing level for the customer. This can always be changed during invoicing as well. You can select how the customer prefers forms sent to them by choosing either the paper form or email option buttons in the Form Delivery Options section. When you print bulk forms like statements from the Select a Report or Form window, this choice determines whether the form will be displayed for printing or automatically emailed. For emailed delivery, you can have an email sent to the customer's sales rep whenever a sales form is emailed to this customer using batch processing. To do this, you would check the Email Sales Rep when using batch processing to send checkbox. You must also have selected a sales rep in the Sales Defaults section of this tab and entered the email address for that selected sales rep on the General tab in the Maintain Employees and Sales Reps window when you created the sales rep's record. You can set specific terms for this particular customer record that override the standard terms set by your customer defaults by clicking the Payment and Credit tab first. Then, in the Terms and Credit section, use the drop-down to select the customized terms for this customer choice. You can then set the specific purchasing terms applied to only this customer in the section below the drop-down menu. The Payment and Credit tab also lets you store payment information used for customer receipts. If the customer pays most frequently by credit card, you can enter the cardholder's name field with the name on their credit card used for purchases. You can also type the address, which will default to the billing address information automatically. You may no longer store customer credit cards locally. However, you can click the View/Edit Credit Card Details button to open a credit card data window where you can view the options that you have for securely storing credit card data for customers online. In the Receipt Settings section, you can specify the default payment settings for the selected customer. If the checkbox for Use Payment Method and Cash Account from last saved receipt is checked, then the Payment Method and Cash Account fields in the Receive Money windows default to the values of the last saved receipt when this customer is selected within that window. You can clear this checkbox to set up a default payment method and cash account used for the customer's payments when this customer is selected within the Receive Money window. The History tab shows sales, receipts, last invoice, and payment information for the selected customer. This tab is updated every time you enter a transaction for a customer in Sage 50. You can enter historical information when creating a new customer if desired. This information will then be automatically updated by Sage 50 as you create transactions for this customer in the future. When finished, click the Save or Save and New buttons to save the customer record.